Hello, Internet. Hello, Henry. This is Sam Ruberstein. This is 9:33 on a Sunday evening, and this is an after Campfire. And yes, this video is a week late. It's not because I forgot. It's not, this or that. I've had a very interesting week. So, last week, around Wednesday, Thursday, my girlfriend, her name is Sydney, um, she moved in, which is awesome. It was great. And so I was like, all right, cool. She's moved in. I'm here. Nice. Uh, we now live together. So I was going to make a video. And then I can't decide. She moved like Thursday, Friday, around then. Saturday. The next day, I began to run a fever. It only then proceeded to get worse. Monday, I was in the doctor. Um, and I had the flu, and the flu lasted till around Wednesday, Thursday of this past week, and it was 3 or 4 days of just wild fever, coughing, sneezing, having trouble sleeping, moving, breathing. Got to a point where, like, I literally said to Cindy, one, I'm sorry you just moved in and I'm immediately sick. But two, if I don't get better or the fever that I have at doesn't go down, like let's cover me in ice. We're going right to the hospital. Um, Thankfully, it did go down after covering me in ice and letting me like sit for a bit. Um, but it was rough. It was a rough week, and as much as I love you, Henry, I am not making a video with 102-degree fever. I don't have the ability within me to do that. So that is why there was no video. Um, Upcoming things. This is going to be my last week at work. I finish my job as a teacher on Wednesday, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then Monday I start working at Toro full time, and I am going to be a college admin. Beepity doo! And so that was pretty exciting for me. Um, and it's going to be pretty good. I cannot wait. I'm very sad that I'm leaving my kids, but what are you going to do? So I asked Henry to talk about like something that seems small to others, but is a real big thing for him. And I like what he talked about, but I don't know. Like I like the idea of like yeah, build something for yourself. This that like I don't know. I asked this question because I just graduated therapy. By the way, when we get to talking about therapy, we'll have a discussion there. I'm gonna say for me, probably like one of the big moments of my life that was really important to me, and like a lot of people probably won't see it as super important, was probably like um hmm I would say something small that like really isn't like a big thing, but like has just kind of been learning to cook decently. Like not I'm not amazing, but like learning to cook has been like a really big thing for me. Needing to cook, taking care of myself, um, has been wonderful. Um, and like there's something that like it makes me proud to like, I'm good at like people like my food. Um, but also like that it tastes good. Often, people go through life with what they know, and like My mom was a good cook, but my mom's big thing was always, try new things and experiment with your food. And I've gotten really comfortable with that. And so like first time I like had people over and like they're like, "Wow, your food is really good," or like even just like when people come over and I make them drinks, same thing. Like, "Oh wow, these are really good." Like I worked hard to learn how to do that stuff, and I worked hard to like develop a decent palate for that. So that is my answer. Um, However, my other answer, the obvious answer, is like I said, I graduated therapy about 2 weeks ago. And it was a huge deal for me, and this is going to go right into Henry's question because so one of the things that stinks about it is it was very difficult the past 2 weeks because you graduate and you feel really good about yourself for a little bit, but you also are suddenly nervous because this thing that you had your entire life is gone. And that scares me. Like it was tough. It was a tough week where like I really was going up and down a lot, and I am very happy now that it is over, and that I'm kind of more feeling confident again that we are doing okay. Henry asked me what are like my top lessons that I learned from therapy, and I will go and convert this to Henry with what are some things you wish you learned as a kid that you've learned now as an adult about yourself? That's as close as I think we're going to get on this. Um, so for me, my big mm, moments um, were um, one, learning to set boundaries for myself and say no was a really big thing. Um, and knowing that like my friends will be here even if I'm not always around for them. And knowing that like that's a conversation that can happen. Like I can cancel this because I don't feel like going and I'm not okay right now and I need a moment to breathe. Fine, cool, I can do that. But also then being able to say no to people who I consider people in power, people who are important to me, who I want to impress. That was a tough one growing up. Um, so that's one of the really important things I learned. Um, Learning to prioritize my physical and mental health was an important one. Um, that's okay to take the day off because you just don't feel good. Knowing that it's okay to um, take a day to do nothing and clean and take care of you because you need it is fine. Um, and then learning that there is no rush and that you should be proud of your small accomplishments. That was something I wasn't even proud of my big accomplishments as like a kid. So like telling me now that I can be proud of not only the big ones but like the small ones is like huge. Um, like today, Sydney and I went to Costco. I hate Costco. I hate Costco with a passion. I don't like supermarkets. I don't like Target, Walmart, big places with a lot of people and a lot of noise. It gives me a bit of anxiety. Um, but today we went to Costco, and I was exhausted, and I struggled my way through it, and it was. I got home and I sat down. You know, Sydney was like, "Oh, we don't do that again." I'm like, "No, we do," because I'm gonna like the only way to get over that kind of anxiety is to keep kind of putting myself in there and becoming acclimated to it. Um, but knowing that I did it feels great. And then the last one, which I will tell you is probably one of the most important for me. is knowing that it's okay to not be happy. This is kind of like my big fear before we finished was I said like, okay, but like we did all this, we've reached all these goals. I'm not happy all the time. And like I'm not sad, but like I'm not happy and learning like that's okay. Like it's okay to be not a happy person all the time. Like I'm always a cheerful person in that sense. But like, I'm like, hey, you are doing your best every day, and so you not every day you need to be smiling and good. So that one was a really big one for me at the end because it was what made me feel comfortable enough to say, okay, we're done, we got this, we are finished. Um, and so being able to say like, all right, we don't have to be always happy. That's not the goal of therapy. The goal of therapy is to feel better. And I do. And that's awesome. So that is my answer. Learn to say no and set boundaries. Learn to prioritize your physical and mental health. Um, and learn to celebrate your successes, big and small. And finally, learn that happiness is a fleeting emotion and should not be your constant. And you should not be shamed for not always feeling that. Um, so, Henry, I kind of changed the question for you. What's four things you wish you knew as a kid, or something wish you knew as a kid that now as an adult, you would go back and tell yourself about like growing up? Um, and then my actual question to you is so, as I said, Cindy has moved in. I'm going to convince her, whether she likes it or not, to be in the next video, um, and or at least attempt to. Um, but my question is, what is one thing you would tell someone about trying to live with me? Like, Henry, you've stayed with me multiple times. You know me very well. Um, I know you very well. If someone was saying they're moving in with me, what is the advice you'd give them? Uh, Let me know. All right. Goodbye.